we have three functions, f, g, and h. And here we're doing operations on the function. So what that means is here I'm finding the difference of two of them, here I'm multiplying, and so on. So for this particular one, I need to evaluate and figure out what f of negative 2 is, and then I'm going to subtract negative h of 6. So I'm going to let f of x be my purple. I'm going to let g of x be my red, and I'll let h of x be my light blue here. So since it's f, that's going to be 3 parentheses squared plus 5 parentheses minus 7. Okay? And then that's minus h of 6, and h is parentheses in here plus 1 squared. Okay, now in here, so this is all of f of x. I'm going to replace all of my x values where I put parentheses with negative 2. And here, I'm going to replace all my parentheses, which is just this x, with 6. So then I'm left with 3 times 4, because negative 2 times negative 2 is positive. And then this is going to be minus 10 minus 7. Minus 6 plus 1 is 7 squared. So this is 12 minus 17. This will be minus 49. So then we get negative 5 minus 49. And so I get that that's going to be negative 54. So let me just do one calc verification. 3 times negative 2 quantity squared plus 5 times negative 2 minus 7 minus 6 plus 1 squared, negative 54. Perfect. Okay, now here this is h times f of negative 3. So this is going to be h of negative 3 times f of negative 3. All right, so that's what it looks like when we have both. Notice this is not the open circle. This is not composite. So h of negative 3, what we have here, parentheses plus 1 quantity squared times, and then this is a big guy, huh? So this is 3 parentheses squared plus 5 parentheses minus 7 and parentheses. And here I'm putting negative 3, and all of these I'm putting negative 3. So negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2 quantity squared times, this becomes 3 times 9 minus 15 minus 7. So this is positive 4 times, that's 27 minus 22, which equals 4 times negative 5. And so then I get negative 20. Okay, so I'll just verify so I can type it all into my calculator. So here I can have negative 3 plus 1 quantity squared times parentheses 3 times negative 3 squared, and then plus 5 times negative 3 minus 7, and parentheses negative, oh, oh yeah, see, that's why I checked using my calculator. So this is positive 5, right? 27 is bigger, positive 20, whoop. All right, good thing I checked. I would have been so sad if I got to the end of the video and I messed up that one part. Okay, number 2. Oh, these are the functions too. So now I have, oh no, different. I didn't even need all 3 of those. This is a completely different problem. All right. Find the value of negative 1, 3 in simplified radical form. All right, so this is x and this is y. So this becomes the square root of 4 parentheses squared parentheses cubed. Actually, so I'm not going to do it this way, you guys. Let's stop a second. Let's simplify first, right? It's going to be so much easier to do that. So here, let's go back a second. I have 4, but the square root of 4 is just 2. I'm going to bring that out here. I have 6 x's on bottom, 2 on top. That's going to leave me 4 on the bottom. I have 3 y's on top, 1 y on bottom. That's going to leave me a y on top. So what I really have is 2 square root y on top, x to the 4th on bottom. What is y? Y is 3. What is x? X is negative 1. So this becomes 2 times the square root of 3 over, well, negative 1 to the 4th is just positive 1. So this is 2 root 3. So much easier to simplify first. Okay. These are composite functions now. So this is represented by P of Q of 4. Okay, so P is here, Q is here. Now, you have to evaluate the inside first, right? I need to know what Q of 4 is before I can plug it into P. So let's find Q of 4. So Q of 4 is negative 2 times the absolute value of 2 parentheses minus 12. In that parentheses, we want to put a 4. So this is negative 2 times 8 minus 12, which is negative 2 times the absolute value of negative 4. How far away is 4 from 0 on a number line? It's going to be 4 units. So Q equals negative 2 times positive 4, because it's 4 units. That's what the absolute value means. And that's going to be negative 8. So now what I want to do is P of, and instead of Q of 4, I can now put negative 8. But now I'm trying to figure out what P is. So that's 3 parentheses to the 4th minus parentheses squared, and I put negative 8. Excuse me. Caret 4. Oh, I'm a mess. Minus negative 8 quantity squared. So I just retyped it in as it looks. We get this huge number. So that's going to be 12,224. Okay, now let's try this again. Now we're going to do Q of P of negative 1. So now we're going the other way. I need to figure out P of negative 1 first. So that's 3 parentheses to the 4th minus parentheses squared. And now I need to plug it in negative 1 and negative 1. So this becomes 3 times positive 1 minus negative 1 squared is also positive 1. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So then we get Q of, instead of P of negative 1, I'm going to put a 2 here. So this is negative, oh no, you guys. I did this one wrong. Grr.